Hello, Stitchy friends. How is everybody doing? Today is Tuesday, January 7th, 2025. This is Flosstube number 30. Can't believe it's been 30 episodes already. That's wild. My name is Andrew. This is my dog Winston, and you have stumbled upon the Runner Stitcher, my channel where I talk primarily about cross stitch and all the things I'm learning along the way, and a little bit about running, and you get to see Winston. So if you're new here, welcome. Thank you so much for subscribing. I really appreciate you taking the time to spend with us today. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much. There's so many of you who have been with me since the very beginning, and I really appreciate that. It's awesome to have this sort of friendship with you all and sharing this hobby. So yeah, I cannot believe we are already 1 week into 2025. I feel like just yesterday we were celebrating New Year's Eve, and now here we are 1 week later, and that's crazy. So I have a feeling January is just going to fly by, and that will set the pace for the year. But yeah, so I'm here with my first sort of weekly update for the year. And before we jump into the stitching, I did just want to say a quick thank you to Aimee, who took advantage of the Buy Me a Coffee link below. Annie, thank you so much. That's very kind, and I really do appreciate that. So as far as stitching goes this week, I was able to put in a pretty decent amount of stitches. I put in 3,484 stitches in the week, and that encompassed a new start, which I'll share with you very shortly, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 whips. So this is going to be a lot of whips. That's what playing the Great British Bake Off Show challenge does, because you're getting a little bit of progress, but on a lot of whips. And so that you're going to see a lot today, which is exciting. As we get closer to the end of that, you probably will see less whips throughout the week. But yeah, so that's sort of the plans. I'm going to go through my new start. I'll show the whips that I worked on, talk a little bit about plans, and that will be it. Like I said, these weekly videos will probably be a little bit shorter than my previous ones were, just since there's less to talk about. So my new start is one that I loved immediately when it first came out. This is by Embroidery, and I'm going to pull up a picture here to share with you. I think a lot of people are starting this. I know Laura from Stitching by the Shore has started it, and hers is looking great. She's doing it on a couple different, really nice fabric, and she's using some different colors. But this is what it will look like. This is Black Roses by Embroidery. Of course, another large piece, because you know me, I love my large pieces. And with this one, I decided to do something a little bit different. So I got this inspiration from Dace. I believe his channel is Daceman Stitches. I'll link it down below for sure. But he did a version of this on a long dog, and I absolutely loved it. I thought it was so brilliant and it looked beautiful. So I decided to try it. And of course, I decided to try it on this huge project. So what I'm talking about is I decided to do this piece fully in beads. So this will be my beading project. Now, I have no sort of time frame, no goals to complete this like anytime soon. This will basically be picked up when I'm just in the mood to bead. There's sometimes when I have like a block of like an hour or two that I really do enjoy the beading process, and I just wanted something where I could work on beads, and that will be this piece. So it might not get picked up often, it might get picked up a lot. We'll just see how it goes, but I have no time frame for when it will get done. So far, I have a very small start, but I was able to put in 369 beads, and that puts me at 1.11%. So at least I hit the 1% mark, right? But this is going to be a huge project. So I have it on this scroll frame so that as I bead, I can just kind of scroll it up and it will be fine. But it is going to be very hard to show this on the screen because of how large the scroll frame is. So here is what I was able to get done so far. So you can see I started in the upper left corner, and I've got the first big rows in, and then I've got some of the leaves and the stems in there as well. I'm going to try to zoom in here and see how close I can get without hitting things. I'm hoping maybe you can see some of the beads here. I don't know if it's coming across or not, but I was using a sort of different color bead for the major rows. And you really only see it if the light hits it correctly. So I'm not sure what you're actually seeing here, but it's kind of like a purpley metal color. So there's some hues of purple, some hues of green, and some hues of blue in that big rose. My plan is to stitch all the big roses with that color and then to stitch the rest of it in black. I think with the lady at the bottom, I'm also going to do her in a different color as well, but we'll have to see how that goes. So that is my start, and I don't know how much the shine and the beads are coming across, but it's really fun. I'm definitely enjoying it. Hopefully you can see some of the beads there, but I'm really enjoying it. I'm excited to have a beading project, and yeah, excited to pull it out just when I feel like it. And actually, I am just going to show you the beads that I'm using really quick, just so you can kind of see the difference in the colors. So I'm using Delica Beads DB010, which are these here. Not sure how well that's coming across either because of the light and the glare, but they're just sort of the plain, sort of shiny black bead. And then to contrast it, I'm using this purpley color here. So you can see the difference as the light hits it, that this one is the black one and this one is kind of the purple hue. It looks really cool in certain lights. You can really see the difference, and sometimes it's pretty subtle. I wanted those roses to just pop a little bit, but not be like a whole separate color. So I'm gonna keep going with this. I think I like it, but I'm not quite far enough in to know for sure. But I think I like it. It's subtle enough that when you look at it from afar, it kind of all looks black, and then you get up close or the light hits it a certain way, and you really see that kind of purpley color come through, but it's still a dark purple. And then these are the red beads I'm going to use for the lady, I believe. So those will be the 3 colors of beads that I'll be using, and yeah, I don't know why I do this to myself. Because it is a huge piece that is going to take years for me to complete, but I'm just excited to have a piece that I can work on beads whenever I want to. Now it's there for me. So that was my new start. I started it on January 1st as my new start for this year. All right, let's jump into WIPS, my works in progress. As I said, I think I've got 7 or 8 of these for you, so let's just get started. The first one is Saga, and since the last time we spoke, I was able to put in 579 stitches, which puts me at 25.36% on this piece. So I am now 25% done with Saga, which is awesome. And we're not even at February yet. So I am a little bit ahead of the game, which I don't mind. I'm gonna keep it that way. I'd rather be ahead, and in case something happens and I fall behind, I've got some wiggle room. Again, this is my Leap Day piece, so I started it on February 29th of 2024 and hope to finish it by Leap Day in 2028. Since the last time we spoke, I've been working on this next arch frame, so I brought the arch up here and carried it down on this side. I also added some of these little flower motifs here in the center part, but that is what I was working on, that little arch there. So next time I think I'll continue bringing the pillar down here, so I don't know if I'll actually start filling in the arch, but within a week or 2 you'll have another story of what is in that arch. So stay tuned for that, and yeah, I'm really excited. I love Saga. Okay, next up we've got Mermaids of the Season Sal. This is by BellaFilipina, and I am on the final mermaid, the Winter Mermaid. Since the last time we spoke, I was able to add in 487 stitches, which puts me at about 19% on the Winter Mermaid. So you will see here that what I was able to do this time was I finished her skin. So her skin is now complete. None of the back stitching is done, so that will still have to be added in, but her skin itself is fully complete. I was doing that 1/1. This is a 28 count Singing in the Rain Lugana by Fiberlicious Yummy Fibers, and yeah, I'm really happy with how that's coming along. So I finished her skin, and then I also worked up in her hair. There's a few more colors in her hair that I need to add in on the side here. It goes a little bit longer on this side. And then there's some Krynic that goes in at the top where her like little crown piece is. So I will work on that probably next. And I did add some of the purple Krynic, if you can see it. There's some at the very bottom of her skin, and then also in this part where it's like coming down here, there's some purple Kreinik in there, which was a lot of fun. And then once I'm done that, then I will start on her tail. And her tail is actually pretty large. So I think that will actually take me a little bit longer than I think with this one. But I'm really happy with this progress so far, and I'll keep pulling this out. I definitely want to finish that by the spring solstice, but in the back of my mind, I would kind of like to finish it here in January to have that piece kind of off my list by the time I start my February plans, but we'll see how that goes. Okay, next up, we're going to get into the stitching I did for Great British Bake Off. So the first piece I've got for you is the Pixel Dragon Adventure Sal. And this one is getting close. I'm at 93.12%. I added 750 stitches. This one became a daily 100 for one of the challenge items, and so that got some good progress. But you'll see here that I was able to finish outlining this dragon. I don't think he was fully outlined yet. And then I completed this final dragon. So this is the final one. That's the cat dragon. And there are no more dragons in this piece. So the rest of the elements up here, they're all sort of individual little motifs, which is super exciting. And yeah, it's getting close. I think I've got just over 1,000 stitches left in this piece to go, and really enjoying it. This is stitched on a 28 count green apple Lugana. I'm stitching it 1/1 with the outline of the dragons being stitched in 2 strands. So everywhere you see the sort of bold outline around the dragons, that's in 2 strands to kind of make it pop a little bit more. And this is so hard to show with the light because it kind of gets really fuzzy and kind of blurred out when I bring it close to the camera, but this is such a cool piece in person. When you look at it in person, I'm really excited to have this framed and up on my wall. So I've been stitching on this for over a year now, and I know I'm getting super close. So hopefully this will still come out this will come out again with the Great British Bake Off Challenge, so we'll see how far that gets me. And if I didn't say, that's by FlossyFox shop on Etsy. Okay, the next one was Gaia the Earth Goddess, and this time around Gaia only got 100 stitches. So it's not going to look like much, but I will show you what I got done. I was working in this section here with the page break, and I decided I was going to focus sort of on bringing this orange up and sort of making sure everything matched with the page break there, which is going to be tough. So I did that, and then I also added a little of this like darker green here up to and beyond the page break. So it wasn't as bad as I expected, and I'm happy I now at least have that to like kind of base other stitches off of. So yeah, that was 100 stitches. And again, Gaia will still be coming out for the Great British Bake Off Challenge. So that's exciting. And the final piece that will still be coming out for Great British Bake Off is Lighthouse. I was able to add 117 stitches in this one. Here is what this looks like. I realize I haven't been showing you the covers. This is a stamped kit that I got when I first started cross-stitching, but I do enjoy it sometimes, so I'm going to keep going with it. Basically, all I worked on this time, and it's probably easier if you see the back of it because then you can really see where the colors are, but I worked in the bottom of this like sunset here. So all of these like orange colors in through here, that's what I worked on to get 100 stitches. So this project is also still in the Bake Off Challenge and will come out again. Now, the 2 pieces that I was able to get a lot of stitching in for the challenge was the 2 pieces that were eliminated. So with Great British Bake Off, I had 3 episodes left to watch, and there's different rules and different stitch counts assigned to what happens in each episode. If you're interested in joining, I think Jessie Marie Does Stuff has a video where she talks about how she set it up to make the challenge. But when a contestant is eliminated, each contestant is assigned a whip. When a contestant is eliminated, that's 500 stitches on that whip. This past week, I was able to watch 2 episodes and complete the stitching for the 2 that were eliminated. I still have a little bit more stitching on the 2nd episode, So I've only got one more. I've just got the finale left. So there's only 3 contestants left, and the finale episode is all I have left. Now, 2 of those obviously will be eliminated because they won't be the winner, so those will get 500 stitches each, and then the winner will get 2,000 stitches if I'm able to get it in the month of January. So I'm excited to watch the final episode and see who wins. I know who I want to win, and I'm happy with that project if it gets 2,000 stitches, but we'll see how it goes. Anyway, so the 2 that were eliminated from Bake Off for me were The Kiss by Mirabilia, and I'll go ahead and show you what that looks like here. This is The Kiss. I've done a little bit in her dress down here, which you won't be able to see because it's in the scroll frame, and then I worked all the way up to the top and have been working in this blue sky up at the top. So I was able to put in 622 stitches because there was a few extra stitches for some other parts of the show. And that puts me at 27.25% approximately. Probably not 100%, but... And here's where I got to. So I mentioned the last time that I had basically worked my way down to their hair, and that's what I really wanted to work on. I did add a little bit more blue stitching on this side, on this side here. So this sky has been brought down a little bit further. And then I worked on his hair, and his hair was basically 500 stitches. So maybe about 400. But I really like how that's coming out. I am ready for his skin now, which I think I am going to do their skin 1/1 again. And so the next time I pull this out, I'll probably kind of do a little bit of 1/1 skin and then maybe work on her hair, then kind of rotate back and forth so I'm not just focused on their skin for a bit. But yeah, really happy with how his hair looks and even how it looks in the sky with the background. So that was a lot of fun. Unfortunately, this will not come back out for Bake Off because it has been eliminated. So this one will go away. But it will be coming back out in February when it will get a week for Fancy Lady February. So you'll see it then and hopefully some skin progress. Okay, the second piece that was eliminated from Bake Off was the Slumber Party Sal. This is by Sewing Starfish on Etsy. And I think I might now have a picture of what this looks like fully. This was a Sal, a mystery stitch along that has now been fully completed. I know a lot of people have already finished it, but I'm still working on it. This is what this looks like. Isn't it just so fun? I love these motifs in the bottom section, which I've started some of them, but I don't have a lot completed there. But I'm really excited to keep going on this. So, since the last time you saw it, I was able to sort of bring this yellow section of the base of the top here, bring that all the way over and fill it in with the little pink stitches as well. I also did a little bit of stitching on the moon, so I added a little bit of the moon's features here and worked on that. And that was the 500 stitches. It was 518, and yeah, I'm really happy with this. I've got the full frame completed at the bottom section, so it goes all the way down to here. I've got a couple of the motifs in here, which I love, the bunny slippers. Those are probably my favorite so far. This mirror kind of is what stalled me. There's so many different color changes and it looks amazing because you can see like the reflection and the heart in there, but it was kind of a beast to stitch. So yeah, I've got a lot of stitching to do on the frame up here yet, and then I'll start on the motifs, but happy to at least have gotten some progress on this. Again, this has been eliminated, so this will not come back out for the challenge, and I don't know when it will come back out yet, so we might not see this one for a bit. But that's okay. It'll be here for me when I'm ready to pick it up. Okay, and the final whip I've got to show with you, this was a Whipgo call for January. So if you watched my last video in December, you'll know that I'm gonna try Whipgo again, although the more I think about it, the more I'm like, I don't know if it's gonna work this year for me. Just with my plans of kind of wanting to stick to one project, but we'll see how it goes. Anyway, One of the Whipgo calls was my Marvelous Circus supersized max colors from HAED, charted by HAED, designed by Aimee Stewart. The spinning wheel said I need to do 200 stitches. So I decided to pull this out this weekend just to knock out that Whipgo call, and I was able to do that. So I was able to add in 254 stitches. Now, you're probably not going to be able to tell where those stitches were because it was just filling in some more of the reds and the oranges in this section here, but I did work some of this dark color over here a little bit, and I added a couple more colors into the skin of this first trapeze artist here. So that's where I'm at with that. I think I'm at 0.30%. This is a huge piece. But it was a lot of fun to work on. And for just 250 stitches, it went really quickly. So I was able to complete that Whipgo call. Okay, and those are the whips I've got for you. So jumping quickly into plans. So for the next week, my plan is I've got 300 stitches left to do on the Bake Off Challenge for the second to last episode. So I want to finish that. I'll hopefully finish that today. And then hopefully I get to watch the final episode tonight or tomorrow. So my goal would be to finish the Bake Off viewing and work on the final stitching for that. I don't think I'll be able to get all 2,000 stitches in the next week, but hopefully at least get a chunk on whatever project wins. And then I also would like to keep working on Mermaids of the Season style. As I said, I'd like to finish that in January. So that will be my goal to my other focus piece for the next week, to work on that. And of course, Saga will come back out on Thursdays as it always does. So those are kind of my plans for the week. And I think, honestly, I think that might be all I've got for you. So keep running if you're a runner, always keep stitching, and be kind to whoever you meet on your journey. Bye for now, until the next stitch.